Hi students. In this video we are going to be now doing two data sets on one graph in Google Sheets. So as you can see here, I've set up a basic example where we have Timmy, Pat, Susie, and Sarah with substance D for each, and then Timmy, Pat, Susie, Sarah for substance C, and Timmy, Pat, Susie, Sarah for substance B. Right? So this is going to be an example of three different liquids. Sorry. And it will be a graph where mass and volume are on the axes, where mass is a dependent variable on the y-axis, and volume is an independent variable on the x-axis. Okay, so that's what we're going for. So for a graph like this, because of the formatting of the spreadsheet and the way that we had to do it, we have to actually reformat it just a little bit in order to get what we want. Okay, so in order to reformat this, we want to take our volume numbers here, okay, and because this is going to be our x-axis, we're going to copy, we're going to paste this a little bit over here. And we don't want all of that, so I'm just going to quickly just go like that. Okay. The next thing is we want to have this, if this is our x-axis, we want to make sure that the y-axis is the separate mass for each of the substances. So for the next one, this is the first four are the masses for D. So this is D mass, and in parentheses grams. We don't want to forget our units. The next one's going to be C mass, parentheses grams. And the next one is B mass, right? Parentheses grams. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to now put the masses below this. So we're going to copy and paste the mass for substance D here. And then we're going to copy and paste the mass for substance C right here. So that's under the column for C mass. It's also next to the volume for the C mass. Lastly, we're going to take the last mass here and paste it into this for B mass. So I want you to take a second and just kind of look at this for just a brief moment. Make sure that you understand what we just did there. We had the volume here, and then for each of these individual sets of volume on top of each other, we put the masses next to it. Again, it's a little bit cumbersome to do it, but this is the way we have to do it. We have to format the table so that the sheets can understand how to make a chart. So the next thing is we have to highlight the first set of data that we're going to be graphing. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the mass, which is the label D mass, and then all the D masses below that. And we're going to say insert and chart. Now, we have some data here that's already been chosen, and you want to double check that you have the right chart. So it should be a scatter plot. Scientists love scatter plots, so we're going to stick with that. So that's for mass D. Now you'll notice we don't have any x-axis down here, so we have to change that. So go down to x-axis, click on that, and then there's a little tiny box here with 4 different squares. What that's going to do is allow us to pick the specific range. We'll click in that box so that we can identify which range we want to use. And then we're going to be highlighting the volume range. All right, so it's right here. So we just highlighted all of the volume. Unfortunately, I can't move this graph over a little bit, but this is the volume for the 3 different substances. Okay, we're going to click OK. And now we have the x-axis here, as you can see. The next thing we want to do is add in another series, which will be another mass. So we just did D mass. Let's do C mass. So you go down to series, you click on add series, and this opens up. You again click on um, the box here with 4 little squares. You click on the enter box here, and you're going to highlight C mass now. And you're going to click OK. Actually, I'm going to back up for a second, and I'm going to do this one more time, but I forgot something. I forgot to add the label for this so that it knows what kind of mass we're talking about. See how it says C mass and D mass? That's good. It helps us to know what we're looking at. The last step is adding a third series. In this case, it's B mass. Again, going through the same process, select a data range, click in that box, highlight B mass all the way down to the bottom where we have the masses for substance B. Click OK. And now this is starting to really look like a good graph here. But you might notice there are a couple of things that are missing. So we want to make sure that we add some of those things. Some of those things are an x-axis label, a title, some trend lines, and the equations for the trend lines. So let's go ahead and do that. So the next thing we want to do is customize. So you know how we're in setup, right? If you ever get out of that, right, you can always double click the graph and it'll open up again. So you customize and go down to the chart title. Let's start with the chart title. What should the title be? Probably the axes. So mass versus volume for liquids B, C, D. Okay? And maybe you want to bold it and center it so it looks nice. Okay? And now it looks like even more like a good graph. So I'm going to go now to the, again, under the axes titles, this is a little bit of a drop-down menu. So we just did the chart titles. We're going to go to horizontal axis title. You'll notice that that's empty, right? What's our horizontal axis title? It's direct volume, right? These are direct volume amounts. So that's good. The next one is the vertical axis. Well, it's not just the mass for D, it's all of the masses for A, B, C, and D. So we're going to just say mass in general. Okay? And then we're done there. So we've now done the chart style, we've done the chart and axes titles. Now we're going to go into the individual series. We're going to click trend lines. So now we're able to see these trend lines here. And we want to make sure that it's on linear. And the line should be different colors based on the different data points. And you want to make sure that you have labels. So you want to use the equation. Okay. And you want to go ahead and click R squared. This is important for making sure that we have a good set of data that is pretty sort of comparable to each other. And something close to 1 or exactly 1 is what we're looking for. Okay? And this is the formula. So the 0.89 times x is the slope times the x variable. And this is the y-intercept here, 0.459. And this is our graph that has 3 different data sets. Take care.